Welcome to the Unity of Chicago South virtual live chat. This is our book club session or session with the leading online New Thought spiritual community streaming from Chicago. You should know that. And I want to say it really is great to be back streaming with you directly to you from Unity of Chicago South from our platforms. I'm Reverend R. Ken, and I want to let you know that we are continuing this spirit-inspired virtual book club series from a variety of works from Neville Goddard. Now, I say spiritually inspired because it started off with let's find something really interesting that we can get into and that would help us kind of move forward in our consciousness development. And then it just kind of continued on. Spirit kind of like add this to it, and we've gotten a little deeper and a little deeper. And today's session is one of the deeper ones for sure. I read it several times to make sure I had a really clear understanding of how to share with you, and also for myself. Any teachers, ministers, spiritual leader who presents information to you and they don't get anything out of it, even if they presented it 3 or 4 times, then they might be lacking in their spiritual curiosity and spiritual acceptance. But if you would like to change the flow and focus on a different author or anything of that nature, we do have one that we have kind of in the background for August, but we also have much more Neville to go with. So we're kind of going back and forth. We could use your help to give us an idea of what you would like to do. What I want to do now is get the information. I'm going to give you the number, but also there is a number to give you, I believe, that you can text to. And let's see. Yeah, not really there. Oh, here we go. There we go. So we want to show that on screen. So it says learn more about it, but that is also the number that you can use to text us and say, well, I'd like to continue with Goddard, or I'd like to do something different. And if you have an idea or suggestion, we'd be more than happy to entertain it. I'll be more than happy to entertain that. But again, the number is 564-234-2890. That's our text line. And that's why I say text us your preference of continue or change. If you don't want to give any suggestions, continue or change. That will work out fine as well. Now, I want to remind you that this is a live chat, so I hope so much that you will participate in sending your comments and so forth in. That would be a good thing. Because it's not supposed to just be me hitting you over the head with some information, but it's also supposed to be a sharing that's going on. So I'm going to open up the chat box just in case we get some input early on, but we'll have it open throughout the today's presentation. That's normally usually about 45 minutes to an hour that we stay on. We'll try to address them as they come in, if they come in. And without further ado, I think we want to get started with our presentation for today. Okay, so let's bring that in. Right, I want to welcome you to the virtual book club, Creation Faith. And the affirmation that you see there is, I walk by faith, not by sight. I walk by feeling, not by facts. I walk by feeling, not by facts. Now, hold on to that statement. I walk by feelings, because feelings are so important in Neville's work. Feelings are so important. So I walk by feelings, not by facts. hopefully before we're through today, you will have a clearer understanding, a more profound understanding of what that statement means. But right now, let's center ourselves with some quick breathing exercise. I want to say quick. I mean, we're not going to spend a lot of time, but we want to take a moment and just get centered. So let's take a cleansing breath. Breathe in. That 4 count, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold it. And breathe out, 4 count. One more time. We want to breathe in a 4 count. Breathe in, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold it. 1, 2, 3, 4. And release. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let it all out. Let it all out. Let it all out. Those of you that don't know a lot about Neville Goddard, mystic, a metaphysical teacher, and as I mentioned, the core teachings, imagination creates reality, but imagination is connected to feelings. Feelings and imagination are connected in his work. Faith is the substance of things hoped for and evidence of things not seen, as you see in Hebrews 11:1. I know you've heard that before. But I want to pause for a moment right here and spend a little time on the subject of desire from both a secular and a metaphysical perspective. When we talk about desire from a metaphysical perspective, we have teachers such as Charles Fillmore, co-founder of Unity, and he describes desire in the Revealing Word as an expression of the innermost being of humans. Within desire is the power to appreciate and to receive real spiritual blessings. Ernest Holm, founder of religious science, says this about desire: irresistible urge towards self-expression. Irresistible urge towards self-expression. And you say, well, yeah, that sounds pretty good. But when we realize what the self really is, who the self really is, we're spiritual beings. So it's the desire, the irresistible urge to express our spiritual nature. Webster says desire is a strong feeling of wanting to have something or wishing for something to happen. And in Psychology Today, an article had this quote in it: to be human is to desire what we do not have. Wow. Let's take all that in. It's a desire to express who we really are, the spiritual part of us. It's to want something. It's to want something to happen. And then in Psychology Today, it says it's to want something we don't have. Well, to paraphrase Neville, let's go right there. As spiritual beings having a human experience, our goal is to raise ourselves to a consciousness that the fulfillment of all desires, already exist in eternity. And then to learn to operate from a faith in that knowingness. Wow. That kind of capsulizes where we're going today. Our target, our goal for today is to do that. It already exists in eternity. How do we connect with it? How do we connect with it? I mean, that's really it. How do we connect with it? You see, all things exist, and the mystery of their creation must be understood in terms of faith. But faith, listen well, but faith does not give reality to which is unseen. Faith does not give reality to which is unseen. That sounds like that doesn't sound like my religion. They tell me to have faith. They tell me to have faith, have faith, have faith. And now this guy's saying, but faith doesn't give that reality. Now he described it. He said, faith is loyalty to the unseen reality. And only in this sense can the meaning of faith be understood. Well. We thought that faith, we've been taught, many of us have been taught that faith, the faith in the idea, the faith in the dream sheet, the faith in the pictures that we put up on our dream bulletin, on our dream post, that's what we have to have. And he's saying, no, it's not that. And maybe that's why we sometimes fall off, huh? Because we have faith in these objects coming forth. And he's saying, no, the faith doesn't bring those objects forth. As we see here, he says, a key theme is that faith equals feeling plus imagination. Faith equals feeling plus imagination. So I would say to you, strongly, I would say to you, hold on to that. You might want to make a note of that, actually. Faith equals feeling plus imagination. And we'll see exactly how that works together. He says that faith is subjective appropriation, not a blind belief. It's an inner knowing. Faith is loyalty to the unseen reality. Let's go back up to the top. Subjective appropriation. Faith equals subjective appropriation. Faith equals appropriating that thing that we want, that thing that we need, that thing that we desire, that event to happen. We want. Subjective means I want it, not yours, but mine. And it's an inner knowing, as we will come to know, as we will come to learn today, or he will at least explain and give it to us. Faith is loyalty. Loyalty to what? Loyalty to the unseen reality. Faith is not hoping, it's knowing from within. Knowing this, that if you have a goal, if you have a desire, although it is unseen, it already exists. You see, your eye, your mortal eye cannot see it, but by rearranging, as he says, the structure of your mind, you can see it clearly. Wow. Rearranging the structure of my mind so I can see it clearly. Well, part of my rearranging is the fact that I kind of need to know that it already exists. So I'm not hoping for it. I'm not anticipating it's coming from nowhere. It already exists. If it's a desire that comes from those places that we were told earlier, a deep desire, an irresistible urge to express, if that desire is coming from that spiritual place, that place connected to the universe, then it already exists. I'm not desiring something that is not. I'm desiring something that is, but it's unseen at this moment, possibly. We just have to take this one a little slow, because everything we need is here. Everything we need is here. He talks about eternity. He said, eternity exists. And all things in eternity are independent of my or your creative act. What is he saying here? He's saying that I cannot create what is already. He mentioned earlier that subjective appropriation, but I can appropriate what already exists. And he's giving us the steps today, the lesson today, the insight today, the direction today on how we appropriate what already exists. First of all, part of what we have to do, and I usually say, well, you want to, I don't want to say it. No, we have to do this. We have to accept the fact that it already exists. Now, you can see it exists in eternity or it doesn't, but it already exists. Don't know the shape, don't know the size, don't know the color, but it already exists. And I'm not creating it at all. I'm not creating it at all. Okay. So you say you're not creating it at all. No, I'm not creating it at all. My faith is not creating it at all. It already exists. So the joy I seek, the success I seek, whatever it is I seek, whatever I have a desire of, already exists. Now, let's talk about creating the faith needed to bring it forth. The mechanics of creation faith. Number one, what do we need to do? Assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled. I'm already in that house. I'm already in the position on that job. I already have the bank account that says this. It's already done. You say, yeah, well, that's pretend. What I'm trying to do, what I'm attempting to do, my goal is to create the feeling. How would I feel if this already was? So now I need to make it already is, so I can get that feeling, because I want the feeling. I want the feeling of having it already. So I have to assume that feeling. So I need to create, or I need to, I don't want to use the create, but yeah, I need to create that scenario where that it already exists in my life. The bank account, the vehicle, the car, the house, whatever the material thing is. But it's not so I can outline it and have it in this color now. It's so I can get the feeling. Whatever I need to do to get the feeling of having it, that's my goal. Then after I get the feeling, I need to persist in that assumption, that assumption of assuming the feeling. And then he says, dwell in the state. Assumption, though false, if persisted in, will harden into fact. Okay, here we go. So I know that I don't have it. The material is not in my life. The house, the car, the money is not materially in my life right now. But this was not the object, was not to have a picture and believe I was in it. It was only to get the feeling, and whatever I needed to do, if that was the picture, whatever, I wanted the feeling. So now that I have generated the feeling, I must stay in that feeling. And I must understand that even though it is not a fact, it's not here today, that by me holding on to the feeling, that universal law tells me that it will come to be. And he says, but if you know that all things exist, though unseen at the moment, and you have access to them through your imagination, now we're talking about that rearranging. You can rearrange the pattern of your thinking and change your world by remaining loyal to your unseen construction. So what's going on? So I've created this desire. I've created this picture to give me a feeling of success, to give me a feeling of joy, to give me a feeling of peace, to give me whatever it is, completeness, wholeness, whatever. So I've created, and to do this, I had to rearrange in my mind things that are not present right now. So in my mind, I see the house. In my mind, I see the car. In my mind, I see the bank account. I see all of it. So now I have the challenge. And he says, answer the challenge this way. Answer the challenge with, hey, everything already exists in eternity. And I am connecting with that which I want that already exists through appropriating the feeling, assuming the feeling of how it would affect me if it was present materially right now. Say, man, that's some heavy stuff. That's probably one of the easiest ones, one of the easiest or oldest ideas, let me say. No matter how you feel, be happy. No matter what happens to you. Have you been told that? Smile. All of that for something that you want to. There's no good in this situation. Look for the good. Make it good. Make it good anyway. See some good. You're taking your mind and you're reconstructing the situation as it is to make it good. Same thing. Same thing. Same principle. The same principle. You see, what I want is the feeling. The action is not the thing I want right now. What I want right now is the feeling. Is the feeling. Yeah. Mm. So let's talk about a metaphysical parallel. Jesus and the centurion. In Matthew 8:13, we read, as thou hast believed, so it be done unto thee. So this is Jesus telling the centurion, right? Talking to the centurion. It wasn't Jesus, it was the centurion that said, hey, you don't have to go to my servant to heal my servant. You have the power, I believe, you have the power to do it right here where you are. You just say it's so and it's done. Let's go back. Let's keep a track here. Let's track it on. Everything already exists in eternity. My job is to connect with what already is, even though it's unseen. And the way that I am able to do that is what? Through the feeling that I'm going to have when it appears, by having that feeling now to help it appear. It says the centurion embodied faith without evidence. Faith bypasses outer conditions. Faith bypasses outer conditions. So it's not here yet. It hasn't appeared manifest yet. But I already know that it exists because everything already exists in eternity, right? I mean, that's the premise I'm working with. So the fact that it's not present materially has nothing to do with my belief, faith that it is coming forth materially, because it already exists. My job is not to create it. My job is to give it a path to materialize in my life experience. He tells us any hope that we have of entering a glory that transcends all earthly power and wisdom is already in you right now, already in us right now. So the power to do this, he says, we already have it. It's like we're awakening this giant that's within us, this spiritual giant that's within us, that has traveled with us and said, anytime you choose, you can wake me up. And then he says, Christ is the way, the pattern to follow for the entrance into that glory. Christ, that within us. That within us. Wow. So the question becomes, I have created this scene. I have the bank account, I have the vehicle, I have the house, I have the relationship, I have the promotion. I've created it. I have the feeling I'm doing well. But now how can I remain faithful to the scene that I have created? I understand this. It is not my faith that gives it reality, but it is my loyalty, my commitment, my acceptance of the unseen reality. That's what brings it into material in my life. Let's try that again. I have the picture. I have the feeling. But I need to remain here through the rough times, through the, oh man, ain't nothing there. Oh God, what are you doing? Wasting your time. What all of the challenges that are going to come while I'm holding on, developing this feeling that I'm rich, this feeling that I'm well, this feeling that I'm whole, this feeling that I'm successful, this feeling that I own this property, this feeling, I have to understand it's not my faith in is coming. Huh? It's my faith in it already exists. Wow. Huh? Neville is saying, no. You have to have the faith. You have to be committed to, even though it's not here, you have to be committed to the unseen creation, the scene that you've made, unseen, not manifest yet, not materially here yet, but you have to stay loyal to the fact it already exists. It already exists. See, it's not about calling something out of nothing. What you're simply doing is rearranging that which already is until it appears as you want. Right? Until it appears. So you're going to remain loyal to the unseen reality. You're going to remain loyal to the unseen reality. Wow. Now this is some drama, right? I can't see it. I'm being told that it's not my faith that's going to make me whole. It's my faith in the fact that I'm already whole that's going to bring the wholeness to me. So the focus of my faith is changed from my faith is doing it to my faith in it already being done is how it comes. And I need the feeling of the already being done to help it along, to give it a path to come forth in my life. Wow. What does this slide say here? State of consciousness equals creative cause. State of consciousness equals creative cause. One more time. State of consciousness equals creative cause. The feeling is the support for my state of consciousness. And in that feeling supporting the state of consciousness, that is the creative cause. Creative cause meaning creating it from the unseen, moving it from the unseen to the seen, to the material demonstration in my life. That's the creative process, from the unseen to the seen. And it's my state of consciousness that allows it to come from the unseen to the seen. And supporting my state of consciousness, the most important part of my state of consciousness is my feelings. It's my feelings. You must enter the state of consciousness you desire. So I can't be out here wishing things were better. I can't be out here wishing I had something that I don't think I have. That's not how it works. I must enter the state of consciousness of already having it, which means grabbing hold to the feeling of already having it. And understand this state of consciousness, these states are real. They are part of the eternal structure, though, that everything exists. That everything exists. So don't think that my state of consciousness that I'm trying to create, feeling that I'm already in this property, that I'm already in possession of this, whatever it might be, that I'm already healthy. It's real as part of the eternal structure. It's real as part of the unseen. States of consciousness are dealing with the unseen, and everything exists in the unseen. And then finally, we get the secret is reiterated to us. Feeling is the secret. Feeling is the secret. Feeling is the secret. We must shift our inner dwelling place to where? To the unseen. We must dwell in the unseen. Okay, making it rough. Right now, the fact is X. That's the fact. That's my experience right now. My health experience, my financial experience, my relationship experience, my job experience, my whatever. But in eternity, in the eternal, right? That which I want, that which I desire already exists. I have a choice. I can continue holding my feelings in the fact of what is and I'm experiencing right now, or I can move my feelings into the eternal, where whatever it is that I desire to experience in my life already exists. Now, it's difficult. It's a challenge. You know what I'm saying? It's not like, oh, I'll just have to feel a little different. It's going to take some work. But I need to move my Christ, my inner dwelling. I need to move that into that which I wish to be expressed in my life. Understand this, that invisible states, when properly rearranged, what does that mean, properly rearranged? I now see X being Y. I now see the deficit being changed. I now see the negative being changed. But I know that it already exists, the change already exists in eternity. And knowing that, I now want to appropriate the feeling of that being present in my life right now. Because it's my feeling, and this is what he's saying, it's my feeling that's prohibiting that from coming forth in my life. Because he mentions, if you read the talk, he mentions the fact that people would come to him and say, yeah, I like your stuff. And I'm definitely paraphrasing. I like what you do. I like how you do it. But, you know, I'm going to stay with what I do. Or I think he gave an example of, but the stars, this planet's here and this planet's here. So that means this is going to happen. Even though you just told me it's about my feelings and I can take my feelings and shift them into the eternal, into the, and once I get there, everything exists in eternity. And I can shift my feelings into what already exists as unseen. And I will be appropriating it to come forth in my life as long as I can hold my feelings there, focus my feelings on it. Even though you told me that the stars are where they are. Invisible states, when properly rearranged, will externalize what they imply. And he says it's our choice. But here's the key, one of the keys. You must remain loyal to the unseen reality that you have constructed. So that car that I have created the scene around, I see myself driving it. I see myself having fun with it. I see people in it. I see it taking me here. I see all that. When the going gets tough, I still have to hold on to that. My loyalty to seeing that it is not my faith. My faith is that it already exists. My loyalty to that scene that I have created is what allows it to come forth in my life. You see, as he says, your faith will not give that scene reality of the people riding and enjoying, and you're going on a picnic, a trip, whatever it might be. The faith that you need is into the loyalty of the unseen reality. What I just said. It already exists. It's already there. It existed before I went and asked for it. It was there before I had a desire for it. It has always existed. Wow. See, when we focus just on our senses and reason, they're going to deny that this vehicle, that this property, that this money, that this relationship, that this promotion, that this health, they're going to deny. They're going to say, no, the facts are this. The facts are this. But it is not through sense and reasoning that the universe was created, he says. He said, what he's sharing with you is how the universe was created. It was all created out of the unseen that already existed. It was not created out of nothingness, but the unseen that already existed. And we have the opportunity, we have the invite, so to speak, to imitate our divine mother, father, as a dear child, by remaining faithful to the unseen reality in our mind until it becomes seen in our world. What does that mean? That we've been given the same power on a micro scale to hold on to what already exists, even though it's unseen, until it comes into material manifestation. And when these things happen, when we are able to do just one little thing like that, we will have proven divine law. If we have been able to move the idea of faith and understand that it is loyalty to the unseen reality, faith is loyalty to the unseen reality. It is not faith. Faith is not in the picture on the dream board. Faith is in it already exists. That board is reminding me, is giving me an idea. Yeah, that vehicle, that house, that relationship, that dress, that suit, that whatever it is, it already exists. It's just not in my reality at this point. So therefore, I must go out and feel what it would feel like if it was in my reality. And that's what I must hold on to. And if I have faith in the unseen that it already exists, if that's what my faith is, it already exists. Hey, you don't have it in your life. It already exists. It may not be here, but it already exists. And I hold on to the scene that I've created around it to give me the feeling that I need. If I can remain loyal to that, if I can remain loyal to that, if I can harvest it, what did he say? The fields are already white and ready for harvest. People around said, what are you talking about? We just planted this. They're not ready yet. The unseen. I see them already ready for harvest. That's how I see them. And I'm going to hold that in my mind, and the harvest will come. Faith and time. Understand that creation is immediate in consciousness. Immediate in consciousness. Wow. Immediate in consciousness. So once I create the scene, I rearrange and construct the scene, in consciousness, it's already been created. It's already been created. I've already appropriated. It already exists, and I'm creating it into my experience. What the faith does, the faith in the fact that it already exists, and I have created a scenario, a scene around it, so that I can grab the feeling from it, of it already existing, right? I can grab the feeling, wow, man, it's so, not, oh, when it gets here, I'm gonna feel so good. No, wow, man, just to have that, oh, it feels so good. It feels so good to walk through that door. Oh my. Oh, it feels so good to take that walk. Wow. Man, feels good to get out in the air. Boy, it feels good to have this raised health consciousness, whatever it might be. Once I accept it already exists, it's eternal. I desire it because it is. I can't desire something that's not. I desire it because it is. There's an urge in me to bring it forth into my experience, to bring forth my spiritualness. Everything exists in spirit. I bring forth my spiritual experience. It's done. Now the challenge is, can I hold on to that? Can I hold on to that? Because if I can hold on to it, if I have faith that it's already there, and I have faith in the scene that I've created around it, I have faith in that, the feeling that I'm getting from the scene that I created, right? The creation process is finished. It's done. The connection is the creation for it to manifest in my life. I can't create what already is, right? I can appropriate it, right? And so now I'm being told how to appropriate. I must have the feeling to appropriate it, the feeling that I already have it, which gives it a path to manifest in my life. We should know that what we desire already exists. Our role is to select and align with it. Select it and then align with it. The feelings coming back again. How do I align with it? I align with it by expressing the feelings that I already am in it. I'm already possessing of it. It's already manifest in my life. Huh? Wow. Sit back, relax, because it's getting ready to get bang, bang, as my brother used to say. Faith in any power other than that which is within you, me, all of us, all humans, is false. Faith in any power other than that power within us is false. And it goes on to tell us that anyone who teaches a power on the outside is a false teacher. See, it's the Christ in you, Christ in me that is our hope of glory, and there is no other power. Well, what are some of the barriers to faith creation? Of course, doubt. Man, I'm looking where I am right now. Lady, I'm looking where I am right now. What am I thinking? I have nothing. I'm looking around. Look it. It's barren. This failure is coming from looking outward. Looking outward. I need some confirmation. I need to know if something happened. I need to know. He's saying, know what you need to know, that it already exists. And you need to know that you need the feeling of it already being present in your life to allow it to manifest in your life. Emotional dissonance. Why? I think I can, but I don't know. I want it, but I'm not worthy. Double-minded person. Become single-minded. It exists already in eternity. No matter what's happening right now, my job is to bring it. My only job, only thing I'm focused on is to allow it to be able to come manifest in my life from the eternity that it already exists in. Because I'm in eternity also, but that's another lesson. Let's move on. And what do? We have to keep on going back to that feeling. We have to keep on going back to that feeling. No matter what, we have to keep on going back. If we fall off, I think we had this a couple of weeks ago. If we fall off, get back up and get back on it. Today, I felt really bad. I couldn't stay on the feeling. I just felt like this was terrible. I'm living in, what am I dreaming? But I'm back today. And I know what it feels like to have it. And that's the feeling I'm going to hold on to because it already exists. My faith is in the fact that it already exists. My faith is not bringing it forth. My faith is in it already exists. So therefore, my job is to connect with it so it can come forth in my life. Eternity exists, and all things in eternity, independent of the creative act, which is the assumption of the unseen reality and loyalty to its assemblage. Well, man, that was deep. Oh, huh? Everything already exists in eternity. Everything I want, every desire I have already exists in eternity. I exist in eternity. I do not create it. I create a scenario for it to be manifest in my life. The scenario I create is attached to feelings that it already is present. So I create a scenario that allows me to feel that it's already present in my life. I assemble the scene around that. I have faith in this unseen reality that everything is in eternity. That's the unseen reality. Everything is in eternity. And I am loyal to the picture that I've created of my appropriation of it, even though it's not here. I'm committed to the picture. I keep going back to it, and I keep going back more than anything else to grab the feeling and bring the feeling forth. We have to know that in spite of the denial of my senses and reason, I have to know this. You have to know this. In spite of the denials that we get from our senses and the reasoning, if we are able to be faithful to our unseen assumption, the feeling, assuming the feeling, it will externalize itself. And he tells us this is how worlds come into being. It's the feeling. It's the feeling. So we talked a lot about feeling, right? An awful lot about feeling. We need to feel it real. We need to feel it real. So we're not spending a lot of time with it, not a whole lot of hard work, but we want to take this for a moment. Just to choose a simple desire, a small desire if you must, a large desire if you choose. And then close your eyes and feel it fulfilled, whatever it is. Small thing. Oh, I feel myself breathing freely. Mm. I feel myself with the totally financially free. Mm. Now create a scene around it. How would that look to be able to breathe freely? And how would that look to be financially free? You want to see it. Now that we've created the scene around it, we want to get the feeling of what we see. How does it make me feel what I see? That scene where I'm out at the beach and I'm just walking and breathing. Oh my God, that feels so good. And I see myself doing it, and I'm going to return to this over and over again, this scene over and over again. Yeah. Then step into that scene as if it was right now, right this minute. And understand that faith, faith is experienced first in the imagination. What does that mean? So as I see myself walking on the beach, or if I see myself financially free and just kind of floating and walking down the street and looking here and looking there in this window and that window, say, I don't want that. Oh, I'd like that. Let me go in and get it. I've created an experience, right? And I've allowed faith to come forth. But my faith is not in that experience. My faith is in it already exists in the unseen. My position of financial freedom already exists in the unseen. And I have faith that it already exists in the unseen. This scene that I'm going in and out of the stores and watching in the windows, this scene is to help give an image to the unseen. Give an image to the unseen that I have faith in. I have faith in the unseen. I give an image to the unseen, right? But my faith is in the unseen, that it already exists. As we wind up here, let's look at a couple of reflections, a couple of quotes that we can go with, that we can use as we go forth this week. Imagination and faith are the secrets of creation. Just ponder that. Imagination. I need my imagination to create the scene of the fulfillment, how it looks when that desire is fulfilled. I need that. But now after I've created the scene, I need the feeling that I get by walking down the street, walking down the beach, whatever it is. I need the feeling. And when I put them two together, I'm in the creative process. And the thing about faith, it does not question. Faith knows. I already know. I'm acceptance of the fact that everything already exists in eternity, just as I am in eternity right now. I know this. This is my belief. This is my teaching. This is my focus. So since I know it, it doesn't matter that it hasn't appeared. It doesn't matter that it doesn't show up. It doesn't matter. It is. It is. And know that when you're putting this together, that you can rise to a higher level by feeling yourself important, feeling yourself already there. What does that mean? Well, I created the scene. I know that it all exists, but I gotta feel that I'm already there in the scene. I might be right now, I might be looking at the scene And I see myself, maybe, maybe not, but at some point I have to be in that scene. I have to be the one walking and smiling and enjoying and participating. I have to be in that, doing that. And I can really solidify the feeling of that being part of my experience. Now we have a choice. We can continue structuring our world based on the evidence of our senses or experiences, as we could say. And of course, if we do that, what we're going to do is we're going to perpetuate that which we don't want, that which is already here, that we want to move away from, because we are focused on what is. We're not denying it anymore. Okay, this is not I deny the fact that I'm this or I'm that, that there's nothing in my wallet, there's nothing in my bank account, that my health is this way, that my relationship, my job is whatever. We're not denying that. Let's leave that alone. It's not about denying that. There's something better and it already exists. You don't put a name on it if you don't want. I can't do eternity. Okay, don't. There's something better and it already exists. And that better that already exists is what I want. And I need to feel it to get it. And then I need to have the faith that it already exists, even when it doesn't seem like I'm ever going to get there. I hope so much that we don't. Hey, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Reverend Bonnie. I appreciate you. We're going to move because we have stayed so long. We want to get right into the closing prayer. We've gone over, but hey, it was good. It was good. As I said, the teacher, the minister, the deliverer should always get something. I don't care how many times they've given the lesson, how much they've read it. They should get something out of it too. And this is so powerful, so very powerful. And let's affirm together. I dwell in the feeling of my fulfilled desire. Say it together. I dwell in the feeling of my fulfilled desire. I dwell in the feeling. Faith is my inner vision made real. Faith is my inner vision made real. I want to thank you so much for being here. Next week it is Divine Feminine week. Please come back. Support the ladies. They do a phenomenal job of bringing energy, wisdom, practical application. But for right now, just know that you are the key to the good in your life. Let's move with Neville and say it already exists. It already exists. And it is there for our appropriation. We go forth knowing that no longer do we have to wait for anybody or anyone to do anything, for anything to change, that we have the power to construct the scene of change and then grab and appropriate the feeling that comes with that. So as we go forth this week, knowing that, accepting that, wanting that in our lives to be manifest, we say, thank you, Mother, Father, God. And we give thanks that this lesson will be on YouTube and we can see it over and over again until we make it happen in our lives. Until next time, this is Reverend Arkan saying thank you so much for being with us today. Namaste.